Welcome back to Family Meeting. We are right now separated. So Lysandra is up actually in Wisconsin with the girls up at Chula Vista. Talked about this last week. Went up to the water park up in the Wisconsin Dells that has very sentimental value for you and the kids.
It should have sentimental value for you. You were there every time we were there when they were little.
Yeah, but it was kind of against my will, and we always traveled when the Hawkeyes were playing Black Friday, so I never got to watch the game, so I was pretty aggravated about that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, sentimental, but they're all bad sentiments, so kind of glad I'm not there with you.
I know. We planned it so that you would not be in Iowa with us when we went up to Wisconsin Dells.
And to be fair, Lysandra lost my daughter Violet twice there.
I didn't.
So has bad feelings
If I
about
did,
it.
you did.
No,
we were both there.
No, everybody knows it's mom's job.
Oh, stop it. Which, by the way, it was actually my brother.
Yeah, and who put them in the care of your brother?
My brother lost Violet twice. And we were both, everybody took turns taking the kids to the water park so that not all the adults had to go every time. And it was Josiah's time, and 2 times he lost Violet.
I just want to say I did not put my daughter in that man's care. So.
That man.
Yeah. But it does. We had a lot of fun up there. I'm glad that you and the girls and the family could go up there and kind of relive that. Since we've been down here for almost 5 years, it's been a while.
And the girls, like our daughters and their cousins, have been talking about it for years. Like, we got to go back to Chula Vista sometime. We got to go back to the Dells. And so this year we're going to make it happen, and I'm very happy to get to do that for them.
Yeah, so they're having a great time. I know it, even though this is like a couple weeks before.
Yes, we're pre-recording because I'm in the Dells.
Actually, we're recording like 5 episodes this week.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
We recorded 300 already. It is coming, a couple episodes away. It's going to be phenomenal. Maybe the best episode ever.
Really? You think
out of
so?
all 300.
I'm worried because I'm afraid it's going to just sound like so much laughing in the microphones that people are going to be like, ow, because we laughed a lot.
I love it when all of us get together like that. It's so much fun. And
we do have a good time.
It gives people an idea of what it's like around here at 7 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. We just have a really good time together. Although I think it was episode 200 might actually be my favorite. Just because how the episode turned out. We had a lot of fun with that episode, and it didn't turn out the way you hoped it would.
That was episode 100.
Game.
Playing Mom or Dad was 100.
Was that 100?
Yeah, it really was.
Was that really that long ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was almost 4 years ago? Mm-hmm. Dang.
Yeah.
So that one was fun just because the girls, some of their answers, it made me look good. So.
Yeah, they made him look good. They made me look bad, and it was like
Needless to say, we haven't played that game since.
No, and we never, ever will again.
Yeah, but I think you're really going to enjoy 300, so mark your calendars. That's 2 weeks from today. It's happening. Make it a holiday. Take it off of work and just stay home and watch it. It is going to be dropping at 6 a.m. Eastern time on YouTube, so going to be a lot of fun. Great way to start your day.
Yeah.
So,
hearing all of us laugh and cut up together.
And so today's episode, 298, we are going to be talking about what is your spouse competing with. Talking about these hidden rivals for your time, attention, and connection. So without going into much detail, give maybe one quick thing where you feel like you're competing is your hidden rival for me. So I'll give what I think the rival is.
I feel kind of guilty.
Why?
Because I don't really feel like I compete against anything for your time.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
I feel like whatever I say I want from you, I get from you.
That's pretty true.
It pretty much is. So the only time, and I don't even really feel this way, especially not anymore, but would be when the fall happens and it's football season. And Saturdays, it's so funny how you change over the years, though, because I used to feel like on Saturdays it was like, well, I lose my husband and he's just into football and stuff. But now I'm like, oh, great, Thomas is distracted. I can go do the things I want to do without any pushback.
She's like, He's distracted. That way he's not worried about competing with anything else.
Yeah. And the truth is our lives are so busy and our lives are so intertwined and connected all the time that if you want to take like your own time and have a really long bath and watch the fights in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I just look at that as like, sweet, I get the big TV. Like I can just sit in my room and, watch TV and chill.
So I want you to pay attention to this because I never want time away from Lysandra.
I know. You want me in the bathtub with you, and I'm like, heck no.
I'm never like, sweet, Lysandra is gone. I can do X, Y, or Z.
No, and that's why I kind of feel guilty about this episode.
Okay.
Which, this is what's so funny, is like this, it feels like every episode, I'm the bad guy. Like, I don't know how to rest, and, well, I'm trying to think of like, what's an episode where I'm not the bad guy?
I'm always the bad guy. Who are you trying to kid?
Well,
it's
not
just
today.
Every once in a while, I'm the good guy. It just happens the way that you pick the categories and the topics. A couple episodes close by, I've been the good guy, and so you don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta find. Let me see. We need to have an episode on anger.
I got no anger problems anymore.
Yeah, right. The other day, you almost lost it on a car in traffic, and then you remembered that my business signs were on the car.
Oh, that's because
the
person literally, this happened to me, turned right in front of me across 2 lanes and then went super slow.
Like really slow. I mean, I was annoyed too, but I don't have anger issues like you do. Like I would have just gone around. You were like ready to tailgate. You had your hand like on the horn. You were going to lay on it.
I was going to honk the horn at him like, dude, this is a 45. You literally pulled out in front of me and cut across another lane to sit in front of me and go 20.
I want to correct one thing that you said.
What?
You said you were going to honk the horn. You were not going to honk the horn. You were not going to be like, beep, beep. You were going to be like,
that's like honking horn.
You were going to lay on the horn. It's different.
That is honking.
Different.
That's honking.
No, honking is beep.
No, it isn't.
Yes, a honk is a beep.
No, that's tapping the horn. That's just tapping it.
You think honking is...
Not quite that long.
That's what you were going to do. You know it. I know you.
No.
Yeah, so next episode we're going to have to talk about anger.
It didn't happen.
Then I'm going to be the good guy.
Actually, I know next episode what we're talking about.
Well, I'm changing it because I'm the one who introduces the episodes each week.
You can't change it because I'm saying it right now. So next family meeting is...
anger.
How to help your child if you have anxiety, if they have anxiety. So I'm good at that. I'm the hero there. You're going to be the villain again.
I'm good at that too. Wow, this has become weird. This has just become like a competition.
Yeah, and this is not the competition that's supposed to be taking place. So I was just curious what like a hidden thing was.
All right, wait. Are you going to share the one thing that you feel like you compete with for my time?
There's way more than one.
It's a list.
So we'll get into it on the actual podcast.
It's not long enough. It's too long for YouTube, but mine was.
Yeah.
I had plenty of time on YouTube.
Oh yeah. So, all right, hidden rivals.
Here we go.
Gather round, everybody. It's time for a family meeting. The family meeting is a show that's all about family relationships. We're the Osterkamps. I'm Thomas, and this is head villain, Lysandra.
That makes you my henchman.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hello, and welcome to our family. Welcome to episode 298 of the Family Meeting Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to discuss what your spouse feels like they are competing with for your time, attention, or connection. These can oftentimes be hidden rivals. Like you don't even know that this is an issue, but there's like this feeling that's off, this feeling of resentment. Like I am losing to X, Y, or Z in my spouse's life.
Yes, I know what that's like.
I do not know what it's like.
It's not hidden at all.
No, it is not hidden in our marriage. But in other people's marriages, maybe it's not something that they've thought about before.
So maybe you know exactly like I do what it is, and we'll talk about how to deal with that. So before we jump into that, though, we're looking forward to Marriage Retreat. We're going to be, this is October 1st through 3rd, heading back to Johnstown, Pennsylvania, to be with our friends, the Taylors at Faith Baptist Church in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. We had a great time last year. Mm-hmm. I was talking to one of the guys in our church just a couple days ago because him and his wife are from Pennsylvania, and just after Father's Day, they're headed back up there for a couple months. And so similar area. So we were talking about all that area and stuff like that. So looking forward to that again, headed back up for the fall weather. Usually a little cool, although it was pretty warm while we were up there last year in October. So
It was.
we took the walk from where we were staying
That's
to
what it
dinner,
was.
and it was like sweating outside.
Not only that, but we also took a walk that morning before the conference started around that big lake.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
And it was beautiful, but we were hot and sweaty and like not sunburnt by any means, but like you could feel the sun on your skin. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
So had a great time up there.
Yeah, the people are great in this group. It's like a great group of people. It feels like friends.
Yep.
Feels like just going back to hang out with friends. So I'm really excited.
Beautiful area of the country. Went to some great restaurants. We got to go to Sheets, which is nice.
He just said we went to some really nice restaurants. We got to go to Sheets. It sounds like a really nice restaurant is Sheets, the gas station.
Sheets has a restaurant in it, though.
Yeah,
they
I'm
have
aware.
sit-down Sheets.
I had a salad from Sheets, and it was great. But would you say that it was a really nice restaurant?
No.
It sounded like what you were saying is we went to really nice restaurants, and Sheets was one of them.
No, we
That is
got
what it
we got to
sounded
go
like.
to Sheets.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It was kind
It's
of
better. Think of it as Buc-ee's, but better than Buc-ee's.
You're about to make some people mad. A lot of people mad, probably.
Yeah, because Buc-ee's is like redneck.
Oh, you think so?
Their mascot's a beaver.
What's Sheets' mascot?
Like a sheet of cake.
I don't think that's right.
I don't know why it's called Sheets.
I don't know either. Probably a last name. But Buc-ee's is not even in the same category as Sheets. I would say Sheets and Wawa
No.
are in the same category. Like they would be competitors. Buc-ee's is not a competitor with Sheets. Buc-ee's is its own thing.
Buc-ee's is the Walmart of gas stations.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Whereas Sheets and Wawa are like comparing Hy-Vee and Publix.
Oh, there is no comparison to Hy-Vee.
Oh, I'm gonna get to go back to Hy-Vee.
Yeah.
Yay.
You're there right now.
Oh yeah, I am in the Midwest right now this week visiting family because we are pre-recording this because we're separated. So so I get to go to Hy-Vee. I love Hy-Vee.
But that's October 1st through 3rd. Looking forward to that. We actually have a very full October.
We have a full fall. Our fall is going to be like going from one conference to the next. Almost consecutive weekends for like 6 weeks or something.
You have one in September, and then you have things in October.
And, oh yeah. I think there's November too.
November, let's see. I have the calendar up. I don't have anything in November.
Oh, I think we talked about it, but it hasn't been scheduled.
So,
Okay.
you're hearing us work this out real time. I'm
This is what it sounds
setting
like.
her straight on her own calendar. When does that ever happen?
Well, almost never. I'm not allowed to have my phone turned on during podcast episodes because my husband is a tyrant.
Yeah, because you text clients and all kinds of stuff that's happening, and you're not paying attention to what's going on.
Yes.
So, anyway.
Speaking of competing for my time and attention.
Exactly. Yeah, even the podcast competes with her time and attention.
I'm sorry, listeners.
Yeah. So, that's coming up. October 1st through 3rd. If you are in the Northeast, we'd love to see you in Pennsylvania.
All right, let's talk about this episode today where I am going to look very bad. What does your spouse feel like they are competing with?
Everything.
Okay, Thomas's answer is everything. Could be your
work, kids, phone, everything.
That's only 3 things. Work, kids, and phone. That's it.
That's everything. Every person in the history of the world I'm competing with.
You are competing definitely for like against the house.
Yes.
Because like I will choose housework and stuff, and
This has been an issue our entire marriage.
since day one.
Yeah.
Actually, since way before day one.
Yeah.
A lot of Thomas's anger issues stemmed from me not being there for him when he wanted me there.
They still stem from that.
When Thomas was in college, he would call me. I was back in Iowa. He was in Pensacola, Florida. He would call me on his dorm phone. This was before you had a cell phone. I had a cell phone. But they weren't allowed in college, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, you could keep it in your car, but I didn't have a car.
Okay. So he would call me from the dorm phone, which had the
cord.
Spiral cord that was super long, right? Like,
oh, that one was really long.
It would reach into your bathroom, right?
Yep.
So you could go into the bathroom, shut the door. So he would call me anytime he had a free moment, in between classes.
Which wasn't often.
You called me more than once every single day.
Yeah, but it might be small windows
It was
of time.
5 minutes here. But it was more than one time every single day. And the expectation from Thomas was that I would answer every single time. But I was working 3 jobs, finishing high school.
One of the jobs you literally slept while you were there. So
that wasn't that job. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so he would call me, and sometimes I wouldn't answer because I was working. And if I didn't answer, he would leave me a voicemail that sounded something like this. Why do you never pick up your phone? I don't even know why you have a cell phone. This is ridiculous. Call me back. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to call him back.
And I thought things would change. I thought I could change her. I thought once we got married, then I would become the priority, and that just has not happened yet. I'm hoping, I've got high hopes for after year 25. That she'll get tired enough that she'll let some of these other things drop off.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't see it happening, but it is funny because then I actually, in those situations, I would feel bad. I would be frustrated that you were mad at me, but I would feel bad because I knew that you were hurt, you were sad that I wasn't answering the phone every single time.
So I just want to say this. I'm not that way anymore.
No, he is not that way.
I was an immature kid. Now I'm an immature adult, but I don't do that anymore.
He does not. Not at all. There's no guilting and shaming. Thomas is always saying, have fun with your friends. You deserve this. Stay out as long as you want. Buy anything you want. You deserve this. He's always saying things like that. He's never shaming and guilting me. But this was the beginning. It was like that before we got married, and it was like that at the beginning of our marriage.
Yes, I've just given up.
Well, no, you've matured.
No, I have matured.
Now, if he feels like he's competing with my time and attention, he will come to me and he'll say, I need some time.
Yes.
Can you please look at your calendar and give me some time?
Without being passive aggressive or rude or whatever.
Right, exactly, which is, we're healthy now. So
Here's our weekly reminder why we're changing the podcast up. This big, large black cat.
Huge. It's fat. It might be pregnant.
This huge cat is stalking a bird or something across our yard, and
I hope it does not kill this bird.
You should have seen it. As soon as it came into view, the corner of Lysander's eye, I saw her.
I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? I thought it was going to be a Black Panther.
I have got to turn this thing around. We're at 298 right now, so...
One more episode.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm going to miss my window.
Episode 300's been recorded. 299's coming up, and then 301, we're shifting things around a little bit, so... You won't be able to watch this cat.
I won't be able to watch all the animals. I love watching the squirrels, the slugs, the cats, whatever, birds, anything that come into view. It's enjoyment. I can still focus.
No, you can't. You have no idea what we're talking about right now. Literally every week, somebody's like, I wonder what she's going to see today.
Well, then what it sounds like to me is that this is a fun element of the podcast, and we are going to ruin the listeners' time by eliminating it.
Yeah, it's like...
we need to keep the window.
It's a segment of our podcast that's like, what's Lysander going to be distracted by today? Yeah. If you were betting on slug, nope, it was cat.
You're a loser today.
Well,
hey, this is the first
It could still happen.
That's true. The slug could still come.
It could still happen.
I haven't seen the slugs yet today. Okay, so what are some things that they may be competing for?
Cats, slugs, squirrels, birds.
Okay, or your phone. Could be your work, could be your hobbies, the kids, stress, exhaustion, and the list goes on. And in many relationships, marital problems don't happen because love disappears. They happen because connection slowly gets replaced by distractions or other priorities or maybe competing demands. And pretty soon there's so much distance between you and your spouse, it doesn't even feel like you have a good marriage anymore. And that really can happen where,
Yeah.
because like we talk to people all the time. We do marriage counseling, marriage coaching, premarital counseling. And we work with people all the time on this stuff. And it's like, they'll come in and they'll be like, our marriage is terrible. You know, like we don't have a good marriage. And they start describing why and what happened and everything. And it's usually like slow little progressions. And a lot of times it can be this is where they feel like they're competing against one other thing or multiple things for their spouse's attention. And as that continues and continues and they feel like they're losing that battle, the distance happens. And all of a sudden now there's all kinds of other issues happening too. It all comes out of this, though, I think, is like where they're no longer connected.
I just want to say to those who are listening, the bird survived.
Yeah, we should. That's a good point. Because people may be like, oh my gosh, somebody, like a cat just killed a bird. No.
Yeah, because you got really hyped about, I hope he doesn't kill the bird, and then we moved on.
Yeah, the bird went away. That was you who changed the subject, so you got off.
You who?
that was you who changed the subject.
Yeah. So I will say, Lysandra and I, and we may get into this in a little bit. I'm just as surprised as you about whatever we're going to be talking about that day. But we have an agreement. If one of us feels distant for whatever reason, then we go to each other and we say, hey, I need some time. Mm-hmm. And so.
Yep. I feel disconnected.
But that disconnection can happen pretty quickly. And if you don't confront it right away, that distance just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
But emotional neglect usually happens unintentionally. Like
right.
We don't seek to like become distant.
Right. Nobody's like, oh, I want my spouse to feel like I don't care about them.
Right.
How can I do that? Like, I mean, only psychopaths do that.
Yeah. It's not about a lack of love. It's more like a slow drift of attention, energy, and emotional presence, where you just kind of drift a little bit away from each other over time, and that distance continues to grow. Most couples don't wake up intending to ignore each other. But neglect usually develops quietly through accumulated habits, pressures, and assumptions.
Mm-hmm. And we are going to share with you some common reasons that it happens, maybe things that, like reasons that you start to feel disconnected and everything. And then we also want to talk about ways and maybe some ideas to like fight this and to rectify it. So here's some common reasons that it can happen unintentionally. Familiarity. Familiarity creates false security. When a relationship feels stable, feels good, couples begin assuming, oh, they know I love them. We'll connect later, or we're fine. Because marriage is no longer new or fragile feeling, the intentional pursuit kind of just naturally decreases. Like, I feel like that is what happened in our marriage, because I was just sharing with you how Thomas was before we got married. He wanted every moment of my time, all the attention.
I mean, I still do.
Yeah, you still do, but it did change for a while. So what happened was he pursued me really hard, because he had to literally convince me to marry him. Like I didn't think that I was supposed to.
Now I have to convince her to stay married to me.
Yeah. So then we got married and we moved to Alabama, and I have no friends, no family. I don't know anybody. And while we were there, it was the same thing. You really pursued me, and you wanted to spend every minute with me. But then a shift happened, because after 4 years of marriage, we moved back to Iowa, where Thomas had all of his high school friends, like his friends that he grew up with in the neighborhood. Well, it really wasn't very many people. It was 4. Your brother, Chris, Eric, who was your neighbor.
Yep.
And Daniel, your other friend.
Mm-hmm.
And so those 3 guys. So Thomas moves back to Cedar Rapids. The 3 guys are like, Thomas is back. Let's hang out. And I have
boys are back in town.
Get it, buddy. So I have two tiny kids. I have a 1-year-old and a baby, and I'm pregnant.
So you had your friends.
Yep. So I had my friends. I was all set. We get back to Cedar Rapids, and all of a sudden I felt like Thomas was not pursuing me at all. All of a sudden he like shifted back into this like teen life. Like he was going out with his friends, hanging out all the time. I felt completely neglected for the first time ever. I had never experienced that in our relationship.
Well, and I found people who wanted to be with me.
Yes, you did. Well, and I did really want to be with you then too. And I expressed it, and we had fights over it and everything. But that was the first time the shoe was on the other foot for me.
Yeah.
My, how the turns have tabled.
Yep. So you got to feel what it's like.
I did, and I didn't like it at all. It was really hard.
I think you've forgotten.
Yeah, because I haven't felt that way for a long time. Because at some point we got through that. I think that you had your fill of it, maybe. Oh, I know exactly when it changed. I just figured this out right now.
Tell me.
When you became head pastor. When you became lead pastor, you no longer had any desire to like hang out with the boys, whatever, chill. Like you were forced to really grow up.
Well, I didn't have any time left.
Yeah. But I think all of that kind of is hand in hand. Yeah. That's when it changed. And then I no longer felt that way at all. And that was only 3 years.
I stopped fishing and all that, basically.
Yep. And you started being like, okay, I have so much church stuff to do. I only have a very small amount of time, and you chose to spend it with your family. And the kids were getting older and like wanting you. And it was just, I think life was changing.
Yep.
So it was those 3 years that I think that the balance was shifted to where I was the one feeling neglected. It was only 3 years, I bet. Out of 23.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
You've had a pretty sweet ride.
I sure have. So just think about that, though. Like when you first got married or before you got married, there was a pursuit, there was purposeful connection. And then you do get married and maybe it's work or kids or the phone or hobbies or whatever. And pretty soon your spouse feels like you're not pursuing me anymore. You are going after all these things. So there are other reasons that emotional neglect can come into the marriage, but one reason is that familiarity and just like the relationship feels secure, so I don't have to work as hard.
Another thing that happens is that stress consumes emotional bandwidth. So you've got work demands, parenting, finances, caregiving, health struggles, and exhaustion can leave little emotional energy at the end of the day. And this is one of those things that we talk about sometimes is we give a lot of times our emotional currency away to people, and we don't save anything back for the most important people in our lives. Mm-hmm. And this happens oftentimes where we do have all these different things that are competing for our energy and our bandwidth. And if we're not thoughtful about saving some back, then our spouse basically just gets what's left over if there's anything left over.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I know that I did that to you.
And I hate leftovers.
You hate leftovers. And neglect also can grow out of seasons where it's just survival season, where you're just trying to make it through. Not necessarily a selfish season, but a survival season. And small disconnections go unnoticed during those seasons. It's not like it's this big dramatic shift, but it can look like fewer meaningful conversations. When you are having a conversation, you're a little distracted, little bit less affection, postponed quality time. Like, oh, we were gonna, but this came up. We'll do it later. Emotional check-ins become rare or non-existent, and each individual moment seems minor, right? Like, it's like, well, this is just this one time. This is so me. This is such a me mentality.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just push it one day. It's not that big a deal if we miss one family day. Or, oh, we'll skip our date night and we'll just invite other people over to the house. It's almost the same,
I'm just going to send this one text.
Let me send
answer this one email.
Yeah, real quick. Like, I just need to make sure that this is okay.
There's times where we're like laying in bed at the end of the night, which is like supposed to be our time. And all of a sudden I'll be like, what are you doing? You're like, I'm just sending this text.
Yeah, and it's like
sending this email or this
15
quote.
minutes later. Yeah. And so I absolutely do that, where each individual moment seems minor. Like, well, it's just this little thing. But the problem is that those tiny little things run into each other, and pretty soon it's like who you are and what you're doing. And over time, then that emotional distance is significant. Whereas it feels like, oh, this is minor. But then the emotional distance is significant because all those minor things create that.
How are you feeling so far as we kind of just get into the topic? How are you feeling?
Very guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is definitely yeah, I know, right? This is an area I struggle with. If I didn't know better, I'd say you picked this.
I was going to say, it feels like I picked this, but I did not. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just reaping the rewards of it.
Yeah. Do you feel like excited after this episode that like maybe you're gonna get some uninterrupted attention?
Maybe for half a day. I feel like I could get half a day out of this.
But not today. I got
Exactly.
I have appointments back to back today.
So let me tell you guys what happened.
Okay.
So
This is funny. This makes me look so bad.
we had a paint job yesterday, and it was scheduled for 2 days. So the paint job got done in 1 day. So I'm super excited when I hear this. Like 1 day. So I'm like, oh, Lysander has the day free now. So I was expecting like us to spend some time together today. And this morning I wake up and we're chatting with each other, and I'm like, I forget exactly what I said, but I was like, you have nothing going on today because there's no paint job. And she's like, oh, honey, like, how long has it been since I found out that paint job was only going to be 1 day? Like, I've already filled up every minute. And I'm like, what?
It's been 8 hours. I had 8 hours to fill my day. I have back-to-back appointments today.
So she starts telling me all the things she has to do today. And I'm like, when did this even happen? Like, how did you even have time to fill the whole day up?
I was texting while you were trying to sleep.
Yes. When you should have been sleeping.
Listen, you didn't tell me that you had time to have the day off. Like we could have spent time together, but you should have jumped on it as soon as you found out. It's really your fault.
Yeah.
What it is.
Okay.
It is funny that happened this morning and we're talking about this. We didn't even plan this illustration of how horrible I am.
So now I have to go to the beach by myself, go to the movies by myself.
Oh, stop. You're working. You're working today.
I got the day off. I was supposed to be painting today.
You don't.
I had reserved today for painting.
One of the things I scheduled for today is marriage coaching, so you are busy during that hour.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, okay, where are we? Got distracted
I don't know.
by
You got mad.
how horrible you're doing at this topic.
I know. Yeah, I'm not doing great. But there are a lot of different things that cause the emotional distance, even though it's not intentional.
Yeah, so another thing that happens is different emotional needs go unspoken. So one spouse may feel love through conversation and presence, while the other expresses love through providing, fixing problems, or practical support. Both may care deeply while still missing each other emotionally. And so they're not necessarily speaking the same emotional language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it creates this painful dynamic of I'm trying so hard. Like I am trying to be a good spouse. I'm trying to be there for you, but it's missing the mark. Or if you're on the other side, I feel so alone. And conflict avoidance can also create distance because some people will stop engaging deeply because they're trying to just keep peace. Like whatever I have to do to just keep peace, I'm not going to even tell them how I feel. It's not worth it. It's going to just be a big fight, so I'm out.
Well, and part of that may be just they don't have the energy to like have the fight right now.
Yeah, that could be.
Or I just don't have the bandwidth for this.
Right, for sure. But if difficult conversations continuously get postponed and disappointments stay buried, then emotional honesty is going to decrease. So you're no longer telling the truth about how you're feeling or what's going on in your life. And this starts to create that drift where like, I don't feel connected anymore. I don't feel like I can, feel safe anymore.
Well, and that's the thing is silence can then feel safer in the short term, but often produces emotional neglect over time. And then you've got all the issues with technology and constant distractions everywhere, phones, streaming, work notifications, endless responsibility that can crowd out simple connection.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why we are often talking about, hey, make sure you have at least a little connection every day. A few episodes ago, it feels like a few. but we were talking about the 20-minute check-in.
Yeah, that was now a couple of months ago. But yeah.
Where it's like just have a little bit of time.
It's really important.
And then have regular getaways throughout the year, date nights and all that kind of stuff to make sure that connection stays strong, because there are just so many things that can crowd that out if you're not intentional. But couples can spend and may spend hours physically together while rarely being emotionally present with one another. And you think about how that happens all the time. You may be sitting in the same room and the same show is on in front of you, but he's playing his game and she's sending some texts or whatever, shopping on Amazon, and you're not necessarily even connecting with each other through the joint entertainment that's in the room together.
Yeah, absolutely. That happens. Unhealed personal wounds as well, like past experiences, can shape how people give and receive connection. So someone who grew up around emotional distance may not even recognize neglect.
Yeah.
They don't even see that it's happened because it feels normal to them. So if you feel like you're competing for your spouse's time and attention, they may not even know that you feel that way, because what they're experiencing is what they grew up with in their own home, and it feels very normal to them. So it doesn't set off any alarms. No bells are going off. Like it's just normal.
Others may withdraw unintentionally during stress, anxiety, shame, or burnout. And you may have good intentions without intentional habits. So you've got to be intentional. Love by itself does not automatically sustain closeness. It's like you can love that person a lot, but if you're not intentional about maintaining a closer relationship with them. Healthy marriages usually require rhythms of attention, affection, listening, repair, shared time, and emotional curiosity. And without intentional practices, even caring couples can slowly drift apart.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about being intentional. What can we do to help reverse that unintentional neglect? Here's some ideas, okay?
All right, I'm taking notes.
I need to take notes. Small, consistent changes usually matter more than grand gestures. So the daily check-ins without distractions. We talk about even a 20-minute check-in every evening. We gave you ideas of questions you can ask during those check-ins. And the idea is that there's no phone in the room. There's no television on. There's no even radio or music playing. Turn off that Bluetooth speaker and listen. So daily check-ins are really important. Asking deeper questions. Okay, so that's why when we did the 20-minute check-in episode, we gave specific questions, because it can become, how was your day? Fine. How was your day? Good.
How was work?
Fine. And it's like,
it's all very superficial stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing there. So asking deeper questions, which means open-ended questions that get to how someone is feeling, not just what happened.
Because remember, you're trying to create a deep connection, and you cannot create a deep connection without digging deeper and having those questions that get underneath the surface.
Well, and with this, I think about these daily check-ins without distractions. This sounds easy. It sounds good. Like, yeah, we should have a daily check-in without a distraction. Great. But for somebody who is obsessed with work, obsessed with their phone, obsessed with their children, obsessed with hobbies, like avid sports followers, obsessive readers, I'm trying to come up with all the different things that could be competing, right?
Well, and I don't care who you are. Like, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
If you're not intentional, it's not going to happen.
Absolutely, because say you're not like a workaholic like me, okay? Because I think sometimes we put these in terms of like who I am and who you are. But like, what if you're somebody who literally enjoys reading for, like, when I get home at 5:00 at night from work, I want to read until I go to bed. That's what I want to do, because I just love it. I love to be placed into that other world, and it's just how I enjoy it. It's how I relax. So even someone like that, like, you have to say, I'm going to put this book down. I'm going to put the bookmark in. I'm going to put this down, and I am going to pay attention. So I'm going to allow myself to like leave that world, and I'm going to pay attention to my spouse for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that can be really hard.
Yes.
Like it sounds easy, and if it's not the thing that that is distracting for you, it sounds stupid, right? So like I love reading and I will read, but I have to read like on the beach or on the treadmill or by the pool. Like I won't read in my house.
Yeah.
Because I have so many things I need to accomplish in my house. So like for me, I'm like I can't even understand not being able to put my book down long enough to give you 20 minutes. It doesn't make sense to me. And some of you are like, why can't she just stop working long enough to give her husband 20 minutes? Like, if it's not the thing that you struggle with, it kind of seems easy and stupid or whatever.
For some, it's watching TV or playing games on their phone or whatever.
Yeah. There are so many things that we are competing for our spouse's attention. But asking those deeper questions and just expressing appreciation regularly can really help with this.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be together for this, because I know some people, your ship's passing in the night and you don't have very much time together. Send a text. Like, I really appreciate that you did that.
Yep.
Like, for instance, I did this yesterday. I sent a text to Thomas. I was painting. Thomas had meetings yesterday, so we didn't paint together. And I put my yard sign that has Lysander's Palm Coast painting on the yard sign that Thomas made for me. Put the yard sign in the yard. I took a picture of it in the yard, sent the picture to Thomas. I knew he was in a meeting, but I was like, he'll get it when he gets it. And I just put, thank you for making these yard signs. They look really good.
I got the picture. I got no text to go with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, can I turn on my phone? No, I can't. I sent a text. It didn't go through.
Yeah, so you sent me the picture, and I see the picture of the yard sign. You may not be able to tell. But.
Yeah, YouTube can see it maybe. It looks really good.
So, got the yard sign out there, and then I put love it, and you go, me too.
I thought that I sent a thank you text. I'll have to check my phone. Because sometimes it doesn't go through. I did have...
All right, you can turn it on for this moment.
Oh, you know why he's letting me turn it on?
So let's see. I want to see if it's legit. I know that sometimes phones do that, so I'm not saying it's
but you don't believe it. You don't believe that I sent a thank you text.
I want to see if you actually sent it, because sometimes she'll go to type stuff up and get distracted.
Absolutely, especially when I'm at a job. So
or if a slug passes by or whatever else.
Yes.
So... But it is great, and you often do that. You often send texts and other things.
Yeah. And that was my intention by sending that.
Got her phone on and is pulling it up now. Let's see.
It takes a little while to connect to everything.
Yeah.
Now all my calendar notifications are coming up,
which is why she's not allowed to have it on.
I'm like, let me send this quick text here.
So let's see. Find the picture.
Oh.
Yeah, it ain't there.
I said, thank you. It looks great.
No, I said that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, she didn't do it. Did not do it.
No, I said, thank you. It looks great. That right there. Thank you. It looks great.
Goes with that?
That goes with the picture. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. See? Oh, I won!
But I have no
Yes!
idea. But this thank you, it looks great, came in first, and then I sent a text after that, so I had no idea what you were actually talking about.
But I said thank you, it looks great, about the sign.
I thought, no, here we go. This is what I thought you were talking about. So I asked how the paint job went, okay? And then you said, great, one coat, and then the praise hands, and I said, great, and then it comes back, thank you, it looks great. So I think you're talking about the paint job.
Yeah, and I wasn't. I was talking about the sign, but the picture sent later. Because pictures take longer to send.
And so then I sent you another text after that, and then the picture came in.
Okay, now.
So this text, listen.
Okay.
Thank you, it looks great, came in at 2:34 p.m. The picture came in 17 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I hadn't, that didn't register.
Yeah. However, I think this is the moment where our listeners need to hear you say, you were right, I was wrong.
I don't think you are right.
I am right. I did say
that may be your intention, but it's closer to that text was sent shortly after Ice was talking about the one
I'm not
coat.
talking about when it went through. What I'm asking you is, do you think that I did send the picture and the thank you, it looks great at the same time?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, I did.
No,
oh my
you got to turn it off now. We're done with that. So it's closer. The thanks came as looks like as a response to
It didn't.
the other thing.
I literally took a picture and I said, thanks, it looks great. And then I sent them both at the same time, but they did not come in at the same time. That is
17 minutes later.
I have been vindicated. He just can't admit it.
Yeah.
Next episode, when your spouse can't admit they lost an argument.
That's not.
Next episode,
That's not
tune
the
in.
episode.
It's going to be amazing for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So express appreciation regularly.
Yes, which I did yesterday.
People say the thought that counts, but I didn't get the thought, so it don't count.
It did count, and I was right. Okay. Addressing hurt early. Honey, I am hurt by the fact that you did not believe me, and when I proved myself to be right, you argued
You didn't
with
prove
me.
it.
Now I'm hurt.
We actually looked it up, and
I am hurt.
It's even further apart.
I am hurt. Schedule connection intentionally. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Learning each other's current emotional needs and protecting time together. So these can all help reverse that in unintentional neglect.
Emotional closeness can't be maintained accidentally.
No, it can't.
It has to be rebuilt through steady attention. There's wisdom in recognizing how easily relationships drift without care. And I think about Philippians 2, verse number 4, that says this: let each of you look not only to his own interest, but also the interest of others. And we often just kind of think about our own little worlds and what's happening and the things that we have to accomplish. But you think about, especially when it comes to marriage, it's like the two have become one flesh, that it's not just about you anymore, it's about your spouse as well, and making sure that you're taking them into consideration.
Mm-hmm. But here's what's hard about this. The things that you're competing with are good things, right?
Sometimes, yes.
Most of the time. We're talking about competing with good things. We aren't talking about pornography today, or what else would be something really negative that you would compete for?
Well, I mean, TV is not necessarily a good thing.
But it can be.
There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but I wouldn't say it's a good thing.
Yeah. But a lot of them are good things. Like work is a good thing. We all want our spouses to work, whether it's at home or outside of the home. Hobbies, like it is good for you to have a hobby. It is good for your spouse to have a hobby. That helps regenerate, recharge.
You are my
refresh.
hobby.
Yeah, right. You have other hobbies. Your hobby is the gym. Your hobby is Iowa football. It used to be March Madness, but you've kind of gotten over March Madness. UFC. UFC is pretty high on the list.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So you have hobbies. Yeah. So it's not like everything's a bad thing. Like the kids, right? You definitely feel like you compete against the kids for my time and attention.
Yeah, and there's 4 of them and only one of me.
Yeah. It's a losing battle.
I got to get these kids to move out.
You're getting there.
Then I'll have you back for a little while until there's grandkids, and then I got to compete with the grandkids, and that's
You're
not going to be
definitely gonna lose.
close competition.
You are such a loser in that scenario. But yeah, like kids are a good thing, and taking care of your children is obviously very important. So these competitors are often good or necessary, right? But left unbalanced, they slowly begin replacing connection, and they're not supporting connection anymore now. They are ruining your connection. So things like phones and constant digital distractions. So you think about, like, have you ever gone to lunch with someone or to coffee with somebody who has an Apple Watch or a smartwatch of some sort?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, they didn't look at their phone, but all meeting long, they were like checking their watch. Every notification.
All the notifications.
Yeah. Which, I mean, like, I don't care. I'm not offended by that. But your spouse might be.
Yeah.
Like, your spouse may feel like, just take off the watch and listen to me.
Or silence notifications for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Which you can easily do.
Yeah, what do you have to do to but phones can create this illusion of togetherness, and yet they're reducing intimacy. So like we will sometimes both be sitting in our big chair. We have an oversized chair that we sit in together. And we'll both be on our phones, maybe scrolling Facebook, maybe playing a game, like whatever. And it's not quality time together.
No.
But I will say this. If one of us were to say, can we put our phones down for a minute? I just want to be together. Both of us would be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But one person would have to ask for that.
Yep.
Because a lot of times we're just relaxing together. We're tired. Like we're not working on the relationship in that moment. We're working on like recuperating after a very long day. So just think about the phones. Like that's not your phone is not wicked and evil in and of itself, but it can be a competitor for your spouse's time and attention.
Well, and I encourage you just to stop and to think about these common negative patterns and just try to recognize them when they happen. So,
Right.
like scrolling during conversations. So you're not really paying attention to the person that you're talking to. You're not paying attention to your spouse, really. You're just kind of scrolling through Facebook. And I'm guilty of this sometimes where either I'm on my game or I'm on social media and Lysandra's talking to me and I'm like, I'm not doing anything that requires, a lot of attention. But even in that, like, how hard is it just to stop what you're doing and really focus? So
Well, you just have to think about it.
It is a negative pattern.
Right.
Checking notifications during meals.
Guilty.
And you've talked about the watch or whatever. Sometimes it's the ding or those sorts of things, or it lights up or vibrates, right? And all of a sudden, we've trained ourselves like little rats.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
People will they've done studies about it where people they're offered a certain amount of money, like if you can just be in this room and not check your phone or something, and they even they know they're being tested and they will choose to check their phone and lose the money.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So talking about these common negative patterns here. Watching separate content every night. So nothing wrong with watching separate content, but you ought to have things where it's like we're in this together. And think about the way that our society used to be. Like,
Yeah.
we used to live in such a day and time, and I know this is hard for some of our listeners to understand, where we had like 3 or 4 channels
And one TV.
Yeah. And so it was like, not just everybody in your family was watching the same thing, but literally everybody in the world was watching the same thing. When the Olympics are on, or when this sporting event's on, or this world news thing is happening, we're all watching the same thing. So we have that interest in common. And so what happens when you get together with different people, you're talking about the same thing. But now everything is so individualized, and we can all literally watch whatever we want and at whatever time we want. And even the major sporting events and whatever else, there's so many sporting events on, we may not ever watch the same sporting event at the same time. And so that individualizes us, that isolates us.
Yeah.
And you think about that. And we both have experienced this. So we experience it from kind of 2 different ways, where Lysandra and I have shows that we watch together. Typically at night, we'll wind down our day by putting on a show that we enjoy together. We both kind of have like this agreement where when you're not with me, watch these certain shows or these sporting events. And then we'll watch things we enjoy together when we're together. But even in that, like, both of us may be on our phones while it's on. Typically, here's what happens is I'll lay down on Lysandra's lap and she'll be on her phone. And so we'll be watching something and I'm like, did you see that? Did you hear that? Like, are you paying attention? And then what'll happen is I'll fall asleep and she'll be like, hey, did you hear that? Did you see that?
That was
Are
so
you
funny.
awake? Like,
Are you awake?
so even with the same thing on, we're not necessarily present at the same time.
Right. And also bringing work or social media emotionally into the home. So you think about like the emotions that you feel from whatever's happening on your socials or from whatever is happening in your job and your work environment. You bring those into the home in the way that you treat your spouse because it's affecting you emotionally. and then you bring that negativity into the home.
So I just want to clarify this to make sure our listeners don't misunderstand. It is okay to have things happen at work, come home, talk about it with your spouse. We encourage that.
It's important.
So that's not what we're not saying. We're saying don't carry the same emotional energy from something that's happened at work and treat your family a certain way.
Right. Like, don't take it out on them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And even brief interruptions while you're trying to have a moment together communicate really important things. What they communicate is something else has my attention. You are competing with my screen. You are not as important as this. That's what it communicates.
Yeah.
And that hurts bad. Mm-hmm. That cuts deep.
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah.
But over time, what's going to happen, though, is like you're going to stop sharing your thoughts and feelings because you feel like they don't want to know anyway.
Well, and I know you're joking saying you know what that's like. But you also, like, I'm guilty of it also.
You are.
I'm guilty of, like, not setting my game down for long enough for you to tell me something. Mm-hmm. So we're both guilty of it.
We are.
Just so our listeners understand.
Right. And I know that they feel they can, probably everybody who's listening and watching on YouTube, you guys have been in both situations.
Totally.
You've been on both ends of this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it does, it stops you from wanting to talk to them. Like you think about a friendship.
Yeah.
If you have a friend who is always on their phone when you're with them, they won't stop long enough to like just listen to you. You're going to stop wanting to hang out with them. Like, you're not going to pursue it as hard.
Yep.
And when you're with them, you're not going to share anything deep because you can feel that they have no desire to have that with you. Like, their phone is more important, or their notifications, or their work, or whatever. And this is the thing, like, when we say their phone is more important, it might not be the phone itself. It's the work that is being done through the phone.
Right.
Because that's how it is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the hobby.
The
or
social media, or the
reading.
text somebody else.
Yeah.
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 Friends or whatever.
Right.
So one of the things that we just encourage you to do is have like phone-free meals or bedtime, where it's like, okay, we're not going to be on our phone during this particular time. Maybe it's like, hey, on date nights, and we've talked about this before on the podcast, where we've had some things happen where one or both of us were on our phones, and it was like, we went out on this date and we didn't really connect.
We wasted it.
Yeah.
It's like a huge waste.
And so we agreed, like, we're not going to be on our phones at dates, out on dates, unless we say, hey, is it okay if I check this real quick or do that? Mm-hmm. But having that time without it. So we've started doing that with our kind of family dinners. It's like, hey, no phones at the dinner table. Mm-hmm. We're just going to be here present at the same time. We're going to talk with each other. Having intentional eye contact while talking. It's like, I'm not going to have any other distractions. I'm going to set those aside, whatever they are. And we're going to look each other in the eye like you used to do. Short daily check-ins without devices. We've talked about that. And I like this one here. Prioritizing conversation before entertainment.
That's good.
And so Lysander will do this sometimes. I'm trying to think if I've ever done this. Most of this has come from you, where it's like we've had our day. We're getting into our end of the day routine, getting ready for bed, all that, and we're going to get into bed together and watch our show as we kind of unwind. And Lysander at times will be like, hey, before we turn the TV on, can we just talk for a minute? Mm-hmm. And it may be about something important that we need to deal with, usually something bad I've done that we've got to talk through.
It might be reading the Bible and having prayer together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or it's just, hey, we just want to connect.
Yep.
Like, just want to connect with each other. And this you have to have both sides for this, where it's like somebody recognizes it and initiates, and it really doesn't matter who that is.
Yeah.
Initiates it, and then the other person respects that and leans into it.
Yeah.
So
right.
Don't make a big deal about it if your spouse is like, hey, can you turn the TV off, or can we not turn the TV on yet because I want to talk to you? Right. Oh, the game's coming on, or I'm tired. Like, no, your spouse wants to connect with you. Mm-hmm. And that is it's a literal sign saying, I want to connect with you. I want to talk with you.
Yes. work can become identity. And I know that this is something I deal with because work becomes more than employment. It can become like validation, escape, purpose, control, achievement. I don't even know where I got that. I mean, my parents are hard workers, but they never acted like, because they're blue collar, like they never acted like work is, they didn't act like achievement was the goal or that status or anything or money was the goal. But they definitely valued people who worked hard, and they believed that like if you don't work hard, you're lazy. You know, in general, general, right? Exceptions and everything. But so I don't know. But at some point, I just became very tied up in work. It might just be my personality.
Well, and I think it's a number of things that kind of have all come together. There's nothing wrong with work. Like work is a good thing, and you love work, and you love accomplishing things. So I think some of it is part of your personality. It's kind of played out in your faith as well. Like you've had to like work through the situation where you're trying to earn God's favor or his love or whatever. So I think it's a lot of things that have kind of come together with our religious background and making sure that you're doing the right things, you know, and you've got all these works that are kind of stacking up.
Exactly. But a lot of times, like you're just looking for that validation or control or achievement or whatever it may be. And it's not that ambition itself is harmful or wrong or evil, but when work consistently receives the best energy, then your spouse might get the leftovers or nothing at all.
So I want to ask you this.
Okay.
Do you work to live or live to work?
Oh, I definitely live to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not work to live. I love working.
I work to live.
I get happy and excited when I have a lot of work. And if I don't have a lot of work, which, by the way, there are some people who would say on those days when I'm like, oh, I don't have a lot of work, that I still have a lot of work compared to some.
Yeah.
Because, like, there are days when I'll be like, oh, I didn't even work very hard today. And then I'll list the things I did. And I'm like, oh, that's a full day of work.
Well, Sandra is literally afraid of not having work.
Yeah, it scares me.
So, like, think about what happened just yesterday afternoon. She got a day off of work because the work job was completed a day early. And I think that we've not talked about this, so tell me if I'm wrong. I think you had a little, like, panic where it's like, I don't have work tomorrow. I need to do I need to fill this up somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, that's just the kind of person she is. So.
Well, it's not just that. That is an element. But the other element is, ooh, I'm going to get a bunch of stuff done tomorrow that I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
So it's also like this happy feeling of checking things off my list.
But I've definitely seen, like, the days where, for whatever reason, you don't have anywhere to go or work to do. Like, you have an emotional response that
I am
is
sad.
very, very negative.
Yes, I am sad. How would you describe it? Like, would you just say the word sad, or what would you say?
Yeah, it's like melancholy, depressed. I wouldn't say you have depression, but you get kind of depressed and discouraged.
Yes. Yes, I just get sad. I don't like it.
It's like the exact opposite that I have, where it's like if something happens and something gets cleared off my schedule, I am so happy. And I'm like, oh, I can go to the beach today, or I can do this thing that I really enjoy.
I'm doing the thing I enjoy.
Yeah, and it's not me. It's work. So it's just funny how we're
very
like
different.
Extreme opposites on that.
Yeah.
Like I do enjoy working, but I work to live. I don't live to work.
Right. So, as someone who is married to a workaholic, what are some signs that people like me can understand that is showing that like work has become more than employment to us, and it's winning the competition that our spouse is in with them?
Yeah.
Like what?
So when we're talking about work, I think we're going to talk about hobbies in just a little bit here. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who are like, work's not my problem, we'll get to you. Don't worry.
You're next on.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm next on the list. So this is a sign that, work has become an issue. Conversations revolve only around logistics. So it's like, okay, figuring out all the ways we're going to get all the things done, who's doing what, all this. Emotional connection gets postponed indefinitely. So it's like, I don't know when we're gonna get back to it, but I've got to get all this stuff done. Vacations still revolve around work, and you're guilty of this big time. Like we'll leave, and she's trying to talk to me about work stuff.
Yeah.
Like church stuff and whatever else, or things that need to like happen around the house or whatever.
Well, even during this podcast episode, when it airs, I'm in Iowa, and I will have been in Iowa for 2.5 weeks by the time I come home. And I mean, we have to have income because like when you're self-employed, if you take time off of work, you have no income. There's no vacation pay. So part of it is a need for income. But part of it is just like, I don't really want to not work for 2.5 weeks.
Okay, so here's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that you're working. We'll leave and we'll go on vacation. And Lysandra's trying to talk to me about church stuff or this or that. And I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about work the rest of the time. I don't want to hear the word church come out of your mouth for the next week or whatever it is that we're gone. Wait until, often when we're on the way home from vacation, then we'll kick back in and we'll start talking about what needs to happen when we get back. Right. But if you can't leave your laptop at home or turn your emails off, there's a big issue.
Yeah.
Exhaustion replaces affection. And part of that goes back to what we talked about before, not saving any currency for your spouse, and you spend it all and give it all to other things and other people. So
those are some signs like that I should be watching for, knowing that like work has become too important and you are now losing the competition against work.
Yeah. Because it's like you come home and don't have anything to give your spouse. That is a huge red flag and a warning sign. Like it's that check engine light that is flashing like crazy saying something's wrong, pay attention to this or you're going to have major problems. But the thing is, many couples drift apart, not because someone stopped loving the family, but because productivity slowly outranked presence. Like, I've got to get these things accomplished, and that's more important than being here with you.
Yeah. Okay, so here's some ideas for me and all of you other workaholics. We need to create some clear boundaries around work hours. So work stays at work during these hours. I feel like I'm reading this and not even going to do it.
A couple years ago, I read a book. I forget the author, but it's called Be Where Your Feet Are.
Oh, that was good. I read that book too.
And it talks about just this, like clear boundaries around work hours, where it's like, wherever your feet are, be present in that moment. So while you're at work, give work everything that you have. But hey, when you pull up to your house and you open the door and you set your feet on the ground, it's like, I'm going to be present here at home as husband, as father. And when you're out with your friends, it's like, I'm going to be present as a friend with my people who are here.
Yeah. Another good idea, and this is something that we do. We protect our couple time like an appointment. So if we have a date that is on the calendar, it is an appointment. So when someone asks me if I can do something, paint, meet with them, spiritual mentoring, I cannot during that time. I have an appointment.
So
it's
now,
on the calendar.
Now that people have heard that, they're going to be like, oh, you out with your husband?
Yeah, and I'm going to be like, yes, and it's a very important appointment.
So how do I get a hold of your calendar?
You don't touch my calendar.
I'm going to fill it up with so many appointments.
It's going to be Thomas.
How did my whole calendar fill up?
Yeah. My health calendar is full right now.
I'm about to delete some stuff.
Do not. You would make me miss clients and paint bids and everything.
But you'd be with me.
Yeah, don't touch my calendar. Okay, transitioning intentionally from work mode to home mode. So like Thomas talked about, when your feet hit the ground at home, that's where you're at. And remember that emotional availability matters more than constant efficiency. This is hard for me, so I get it. But these are things we're going to shoot for. These are things we're going to work towards.
So that has to do with work. Let's talk a little bit about hobbies and personal escapes. So as Lysandra mentioned, hobbies are great. They can be very healthy and restorative.
Yeah.
It is important for us to have time of personal escape where we get re-energized and refreshed and we rest. Just a couple weeks ago, I was getting together with our local pastors. We meet once a month and get together. And typically we'll just talk about a certain topic. So for those of you who are outside of the pastorate, a lot of pastor groups, when they get together, it's all about like how many people is your church running and this and that. This pastor group doesn't do that at all. It's literally about how are you doing as a person.
I love that.
And encouraging each other, celebrating each other. But we were talking about Sabbath and rest. And as we get ready to move into the summer, like what are you doing to have a little bit of a personal escape, get refreshed, and rest over the summertime? And so that is a good thing, okay? But what we're talking about is what if that is out of balance? So problems arise when they become primary emotional refuges instead of healthy complements to marriage. So this could include gaming, like nothing wrong with gaming itself. But if it's like you're spending an inordinate amount of time instead of like with your wife, maybe it's sports or fitness. So there's a reason that I go to the gym first thing in the morning before anybody's up, right? To make sure that, hey, when my family's up, I'm there present with them. Maybe it's social groups. And Lysandra talked about the issue I had with friend groups when we first moved to Iowa. Maybe it's projects. And we're not talking about work itself, but I want to get this project done around the house or this or that. Like you just love tinkering and doing all that stuff. Maybe it's endless personal goals. And so you've got these things that it's not work for you. It's one of these other things that is getting most of your time and energy and effort. And this is the thing that happens. Sometimes hobbies feel easier than relationships because they're predictable. They're rewarding. Think about video games. And some people spend an inordinate amount of time on a certain video game. Why? Because they feel successful at it. It's like, I'm good at this game, and I get this outcome, and I'm rewarded for it. And they're less emotionally demanding. So the thing is, a spouse may not resent the hobby itself, but they may resent always coming second to it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because like I love that you do things that you enjoy. I want that for you. But if I ever felt like I was less important than your hobby, then it would definitely make me resent that hobby. So here's some ideas to help you if this is your issue. Shoot for balance, not elimination. So you don't have to eliminate the hobby. So like if your hobby is reading, it's not like, okay, I can never ever read anymore.
Yeah.
Just shoot for balance. How can I make this more balanced? What would balance look like? Discuss expectations openly. So, with your spouse, do you're okay with me being on the video games for an hour, but you want an hour then after that, or vice versa, or whatever. So like talk about the expectations, talk about what balance looks like to your spouse and what you feel like it is. Maintaining shared experiences as a couple. So are there any hobbies that you can do together, right? Yeah. Thomas and me both like the beach.
Yep.
He can stay longer than I am, but now that I read on the beach, I can stay a lot longer because then my mind is occupied and I'm okay.
Yeah, because she used to be like, we'd get there, we'd sit down for a little bit, she may take a nap, but basically it was like, okay, she's ready to go.
I'm bored.
She's ready to move on to something else.
Yeah. So reading has helped me to enjoy Thomas's hobby longer.
Yeah.
And same with the pool. If we go to a pool somewhere, I get real bored at a pool. But not if I read. So finding ways like, okay, how can I have this shared hobby with my spouse and make it something I enjoy? Yeah. You may have to tweak it a little bit, figuring that out. But make sure that recreation does not consistently replace intimacy. And we're not talking sexual intimacy, but it could be.
Just itself, yeah.
Yeah, just closeness. And so don't always choose your hobby over your spouse. They feel that. It hurts them.
So what if it's not work? What if it's not hobbies? What if it's kids?
It can be.
Where parenting is taking over the marriage. Mm-hmm. This is the thing. Like, children require enormous attention,
Yes, they do,
a lot of attention.
especially when they're little.
I would not say especially when they're little. I'd say all the time, because
Yeah.
even our young adults, so we have a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 15-year-old, they take a lot of time and attention.
They do.
The problem is they like us. They want to spend time with us. And of course, I'm being facetious with saying that's a problem. It's a very good thing, but that can take a lot of attention and time as well, especially during demanding seasons.
Yeah.
So, like, we are in a season right now where our oldest daughter's getting married, so we're planning a wedding right now. Our second born is in college. She's getting ready to go into her senior season in college, Flagler College. We're very proud of her, and she's working hard, but that comes with some time and energy. And then our third born daughter just graduated high school, and so we had graduation parties and all those sorts of things, and she's getting ready to go to the
Flagler Technical College.
Technical College, yes, thank you, to become a cosmetologist. And then our youngest is entering high school, and there's volleyball and all those sorts of things that she likes. So, like, we have these different demanding seasons that require extra time, extra energy, extra effort, things to talk about, conversations that need to be had. And then it's like when you got 4 kids, trying to make sure they all have some alone and quality time
Right.
with us as well. But many couples unintentionally shift from spouses to full-time parenting partners,
Yeah.
where you're more focused in on the kids than you are on your own marriage and spouse.
Exactly. And what it can look like is when you talk, conversations are all about the kids. And we had that. When they were little, we
Yeah.
had that. Where we would go, we'd finally get a sitter, we'd go out on a date night, and we'd sit there and we'd talk about the kids the whole night. And we finally caught on to that, and we were like, okay, tonight, no talking about the kids.
Well, and I just want to say this because there are people who say, like, kids first. And that is absolutely wrong thought process and wrong values. It is your spouse is your primary relationship here on this earth. And kids are just underneath that. But if your mentality is kids first, that's a wrong mentality.
Because what's going to happen is your marriage will dissolve, and that is very negative for your children. Also, your kids will not be with you very long. It feels like it at the beginning.
Especially when they're small,
oh,
yeah.
Man, it feels like we have the rest of our lives with our kids. No, you don't. As somebody whose kids are leaving the nest, it goes so fast, and then guess what? I still have a lot of life left. And you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at Thomas. It's just him and me for the rest of my life. If I had made my whole life about my kids, we wouldn't have much to go on, and a lot of people get divorced in this season.
Yeah.
So definitely put your spouse
Because
first.
they look up and they're married to a stranger.
Yeah, absolutely.
'Cause
Or somebody they just don't like
You've
anymore.
both changed and you've not learned and grown together.
Exactly. Yeah. But another way that you can see, like, okay, the kids have competed with my spouse for my time and attention, and my kids have won. You no longer have any alone time together. It's always you and the kids. Chronic exhaustion. I don't know how you fix that when they're little. Intimacy disappears. Emotional energy is centered entirely on the kids. And what is so ironic about this is couples will oftentimes neglect the very relationship that creates the stability for the kids.
Yeah.
So you're doing it to your kids.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like with 4 kids, the thing that kept us stable was our strong connection to each other.
Absolutely.
And we made that a priority every step of the way.
No doubt. Healthy parenting and healthy marriages shouldn't be competitors. They are not competitors. If you have a healthy marriage, then you will be a healthy parent and your kids will be happier. But without intention, parenting responsibilities consume the whole relationship space. There's nothing left. You got to watch this one.
So here's some ideas to help with this. And it starts by protecting small moments of couples connection. For us, it was at night.
Yep.
And the kids, especially when they were small, went to bed at 8:30.
No
And
exceptions.
that was bedtime, and I guarded that fiercely because I knew how important it was for Lysandra and I to have a connection that was just us every single day, even if it was literally some nights it was literally minutes until one or both of us were asleep. Mm-hmm. But we had that time at least every single day where we knew we could connect. And you've got to remember that the marriage existed before parenthood for most of you, right? Now, we understand for some it's a little bit different. But the marriage relationship itself, as we see through Scripture, is the primary relationship. And so looking back to the beginning, it was God created them male and female, and they were husband and wife, and that existed before kids came along. And so remembering that priority in the relationship. And then this is a hard one, but this is one you have to be intentional about. Speaking as partners, not only as parents. Mm-hmm. And so as Lysandra mentioned, like there were times where all we would talk about is the kids. And it was similar to a work thing where we had to be like, okay, we're not going to talk about the kids. So what else can we talk about? And so we had to, because that's like when you're parenting, that can be the default thing where you just fall back on that and it's an easy thing to talk about. But you have to stay connected as people outside of the kids. And so having conversations about work, about TV shows, about likes and dislikes, you know. So, and then allowing your children to see healthy affection and teamwork.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not grossing your kids out, you're probably not doing it right. So.
Yeah, definitely. We gross our kids out a lot. But the deeper issue here is attention, because attention shapes intimacy. And so whatever consistently receives your attention eventually receives your emotional attachment. So that's the direction you are going with your heart. And remember, we've said it so many times, relational drift happens gradually, you know, and naturally. Less conversation, less curiosity, less affection, less shared joy, more distraction, more emotional isolation.
Yeah.
It's natural and it happens slowly, so sometimes you don't even realize it. The only way back from it is intentionality.
Yeah, and so when we're talking about being intentional, all right, your marriage is going to be strengthened through these repeated choices. You have to choose to notice each other. Mm-hmm. Like you're paying attention to each other. You have to listen carefully. So that means put the distractions away, as we've already talked about and emphasized throughout this episode. You have to stay emotionally present.
Yeah, can't phone it in.
You have to choose to repair after conflict and deal with that. And this is an important one. Make room for one another amid a busy life. Mm-hmm. Life is busy. You've got to make room for each other. Mm-hmm. And as we talked about, Lysandra and I have this open thing where it's like, if one of us feels a little distant, then we tell the other person, and it's like, okay, clear the schedule, because we're making room for each other. Mm-hmm. No matter how busy life is, this is the most important relationship that we have on this earth. Yes. And so I'm going to make time for that. More important than everything. More important than the church work and the painting and all that. It's like we're going to make time for each other.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So if your marriage feels disconnected, distant, or emotionally thin, now is the time to identify what is competing for connection and how to intentionally prioritize each other again. If you need more help with this, we have a bonus resource for you called Marriage Connection Audit. And we want to send this guide to you. All you have to do is email us at info@familymeeting.org, and we will send that to you.
So family meeting tonight, you guessed it. We're going to talk about what may be competing for your spouse's time, energy, and effort and attention. So what does that look like? And it starts by just, being open with your spouse and asking the question, do you feel like you have to compete with anything else for my time, my energy, and my attention? And if so, what is that? And don't freak out and don't react when they say things. When they talk about work or they talk about this hobby or that thing, all right, just listen. And then if they feel like there's a competition taking place, it doesn't matter how you feel about it. you need to own that.
Yeah.
And say, okay, let's take some steps to put in some healthy boundaries around that thing and guard and protect our relationship. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, you have the opportunity to unload both barrels on them when it's their turn.
That's bad advice. Don't unload both barrels. Thanks for joining us today. Please go and subscribe to the Family Meeting Podcast from your favorite podcast provider. And if you found this information helpful, please share this episode on social media and invite your friends and family to listen in with you.
To find more content and information Lysandra and I provide, you can go to our website, familymeeting.org, or email us at info@familymeeting.org. If you'd like to shoot us a text or call us, you can send a voice message at 904-257-3062.
And we want to invite you to join us for our next family meeting. We are going to talk about how to help your child if they have anxiety. We have children with anxiety. Anxiety is now like all over the place. How can you help your kids with this one?
Thanks for joining us today for this family meeting. Have a great week, everybody. This meeting is adjourned.
All right.
All right. What do you feel like is competing for your spouse's time, energy, attention? Is it work? Is it hobbies? Is it the kids? Something we didn't touch on? Mm-hmm. What is it that's being, has that competition?
Yeah. We want to hear from you. You guys help us to stay grounded, connected. You help us to know what's relevant. You give us ideas that we never thought of. We appreciate all of your feedback.
Right now, I'm competing with the entire state of Iowa. Mm-hmm. So,
and you're losing.
Don't feel like I'm going to win that one, but I will. I'll be up in Iowa in just a couple of days to go beat the entire state down and spend time with my wife.
Can't wait.
So, we'll see y'all next week.